Hello, everybody. So I hope that everybody is doing great. Before I start, and because all those people are really like in the starting block to answer all your question, I'm making the first check. Do we see me? Do you hear me? I see that people are joining. I'm a little bit too early, so checking at the same time. Seems that we're online, but if somebody can confirm, that would be great. And during that, uh, yes, that seems okay. You know what? Let's also bring our rock stars over here. Here we have the rock stars. Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing today?
Hey, John.
So, Francois, I got noise and sound, so it sounds good. Yannick, I hear him very slowly, but he's a rock star, so we will put the microphone in a few minutes. Don't worry, guys. And how is Mr. Jasper doing
Hey, Jonathan.
today?
Really good,
That's what I
thanks.
like. We feel the energy, my man. Here we go. Look, I found a new option. Listen this. So thank you, gentlemen, for all that. Thank you for the people telling in the chat that it works. Hello, NS. Hello, Mark. Before we start, you know what I like to do. Where you from? It's pretty cool to know all countries because we're streaming on YouTube, on our website, on LinkedIn, and maybe some others medium that they are not aware of. So don't say that we are on other platforms because my product managers are not aware of. But so where you're from, definitely your title, that's always cool so that we can see who is over there. And as an introduction, AMA, for those that don't know that, is something why the three guys that you see over here totally hate me for. Just kidding, of course. They love me for getting like all those great questions from the audience that we will answer. And AMA stands basically for Ask Me Anything. And for me, it was one option more that we could provide to the clients, the prospect, the market, to basically ask all the needy, greedy details, questions, making those guys sweat and suffer so that we can even be better next year. Do we agree on that, guys? Even not scared. Look, they're not scared. Hello from Belgium to Boston to Mark. Sintred, België is ook met ons. Hello, InTouch. So we have people from Europe, people from the US. Maybe let's start. I don't know if all of you saw the latest video that I dropped yesterday, but I made a little video just to tease a little bit about it. And so, Jasper, I know that we don't have a lot of time, but I still want to take a time. So first of all, people should connect with you on this link, and that works fine now, by the way. And if you had to explain your job to your mom, how do you do that?
That's been some time since I had to do that. But of course, I'll explain that I work at Luzmo, what that is, but I think that you all know. If not, we should go deep into that and answer some questions there. But basically, together with Yannick and Francois, I'm responsible for identifying what our customers are doing with our product and what they would love to do that we can do better. And then, of course, turn that into features and product releases.
So you agree that that's preferred link from our website, that's the link that you want us to share continuously to everybody, and that everybody should bookmark so that you're sure that we make the right choices, correct?
There's a very important option at that link that's actually the most important to us, to send in feedback and product roadmap requests. And that can be a feature, can also be just a problem or something you're struggling with, which is even better because then we can dive deep into that problem. But we're collecting all that, and that's what the three of us use a lot to make up a balance. Like how's everyone using it? Where do people bump into issues, or where do we see some opportunities to make the product better?
I call you the captain of the roadmap in my video if you didn't saw it, just so you know. So next to the second one, he doesn't know what I said about him either in my video yet, but he will discover it after this presentation. So Francois, I will not make the same question as for my friend Jasper. If you have to explain your job to a 6-year-old kid, how do you do that?
Wow, that's not an easy one. Thanks, John.
I love you too, man.
I mean, that's my job is to help to build the right stuff. So if you have, I don't know, Legos, and you want to build things, my job is to try to build the right things you want to use to make you happy.
All of that. And by the way, you should ask in the chat that Francois rerun a workshop that we did in June in Paris. It was just amazing. So if you want us to come digitally with that workshop, you should basically make that chat very active. And I will make my best to convince him to run it for Q1 in a workshop that we run live. Now, the man over here, my superstar. How do you pitch your job to your mom and to a kid of 6? Because I want the mix of both for you.
It's not the same. No. To a kid of 6, I would say I try to make things people love or people like. I guess that's simple enough. My mom isn't really into IT stuff, but yeah, same as Jasper, I would say try to build useful things for our clients and try to see where we can push even more.
So, folks, you get it. Those people are there basically to help you ship better products to your end customer by basically solving as much of the headache and the complexity. And they are really into the world, making it looking good, integrated. So that is all the idea of an AMA. Every little piece of thing that comes to your mind where you would like to have like a strong opinion and input or advising on those things, that's why this session is made for. So the good thing, guys, is that we had a couple of questions coming from our clients, prospects, and let's face it, also I dig into some groups by asking left and right, and so we have like 10 questions, 9 or 10, I'm not sure anymore. My idea would be to do something like this, if we agree. So how customizable or Luzmo dashboard? We really want the analytics to feel like part of our product. That's the question. I'll let it a little bit turn so that people can like, infuse themselves with it as well. And if they want to interact, they can in the chat. But if one of you feels like the man to answer it and to give like the meat about it, go for it. And you don't need to rise up the hand, you just start talking.
I can take it if you want, John.
Go for it, my friend.
Yeah, if I would explain it to a 6-year-old, I would also say that I spend a lot of time on making or trying to make things look good. And I think that's very important for embedded analytics. If you open your embedded analytics in your platform, you don't want to enter some time travel portal where suddenly the UI and UX is like 20 years behind your own platform. So we really work on making it feel native to your platform. And for that, you need just a lot of customizability for the dashboards. And we have quite some features designed for just that. So we have a quite permissive theming system where you have full control over the colors of your charts. If your application uses a particular font family, you can set that in the dashboards. If you want more or less space between your charts, you can control that. No code at all required for that. You can just toggle that in the UI of the theme selection. So pretty quickly, you can have a dashboard theme that really looks like your own application. And then you can just save that theme, give it a name, and consistently reuse it across your dashboards. You can, even if you want, if your app has a light and a dark mode, you can create a light and a dark mode dashboard theme variant, and you can override them when embedding the dashboard in your application. So that even if you have specific stylings for your apps, always the best dashboard theme is selected and shown.
That's so cool, man. What's your preferred then feature capability that we have been shipping in the 12 last month that help our customer doing that?
I would say maybe Flex SDK. That's for if you really want to go a step further and if you want to compose your experience. So instead of like embedding a full dashboard on the page, you get to pick pieces from it, mix it with your own content, have interactivity with elements on your own web page, and just really design that whole page how you want instead of having one big dashboard block. And there you can even on the code level have theme overrides and customizability to really go the next step.
If people want to have a taste of it, is it correct to say that the demo app that they can find on our website is already a first level where they can kind of imagine that. And I know, by the way, we should all do an applause for the lady in the background, which is Shadow, which is Connie. She will feed the chat with links of blogs, documentation, and everything. You see my hands, I'm not doing anything. It's thanks to her. So you will have an access to the demo app. I think that is where you can definitely feel that kind of integration level. We are thinking more and more at the game that people should try to find what has been made with Luzmo and what is not Luzmo. It's something coming up in my brain. So if the community over here has some ideas about it, make sure to push it as well. I have an extra question for you that pops up, which I think is very good. Do it,
Sure.
because the sales guy are also in the chat, so they're listening to you, my friend. So make sure that you're crisp and sharp about
Yeah,
it.
sure. I would say the benefits are twofold. The first one is extreme customizability. So as I mentioned, you can mix it with content on your own application.
Oh, there is somebody that has like an awful background nose. Okay, it's good.
It's
You
okay
can
now.
pitch again.
So it's extreme customizability. You can interact with your own elements on your page. You can design the page exactly as you want for the embedded analytics. And the second one is that it's really executed on the code level, so you can dynamically switch chart types, and your developers have full control over how the analytics look like, because it's a code-first SDK for analytics.
Guys, oh, hello, buddy. We have like a guest star with us. I love that. Jasper, because you're the VP product, how good was the pitch of Yannick about it? Putting some pressure on you because I know that it's running in the background as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't have phrased it much differently. It's literally where Yannick mentioned you can get really far with Luzmo Studio, which is really no code and theming and a lot of other options to customize. But also eventually, if you want to really personalize things for the end user as well, you will notice that your development team might ask, hey, I want to also programmatically do things and don't want to rely on somebody building stuff in an editor. We want to do things with code and just like change on the spot or personalize things, show different things to different users with different styling. If you need that level of far-going flexibility, that's where Flex comes in. You can still combine it with Luzmo Studio, but if you want full control on the code level and in your UI, how your UI positions, displays, analytics, that's Flex. And to give you some examples of what we're seeing there, like you can do more with dashboards. It can definitely also go beyond dashboards. So we see cool things of customers building editors with that product, or building kind of more like marketing reports where they mix Luzmo visualizations with their own contents and even videos in the same UI and the same page.
When you talk about reports, I guess that you talk about research.luzmo.com report that has been building partially with it as well.
To take an example, yeah.
You should preach my links, man. You should preach my links. Sorry. Now to another end, because I'm not an engineer. Sorry, guys. But then I think that's a very good question that kind of linked to what you said, Yannick, or Jasper or Francois, feel free. But when you're not that, how good can you make it?
Yeah, so there you would mainly rely on the teaming system that we discussed in the previous question. You can get really far with it, to be honest, with just the teaming system. Let's say
Yannick, may I?
Go ahead.
What is it? Teaming, blah, blah.
It's where you select every color of your dashboard, every font size, every font family, just how your charts look. Full control over almost any aspect of it. If you like your borders more rounded, less rounded, or really have it match your application. So you get
if
really
I say in my own words, where I see dark mode, light modes, it's that, but on steroid, because you can go even to like the borders, like you said, changing really the colors and not making a dark background and a white background like we see in most of the apps, correct?
Yeah, if you want a full bright red background for some reason, you can do it.
Right on spot.
If you want to go to the next level, there is custom CSS available as well, where you have really pixel perfect dashboards almost, but that's a bit more engineering again. If you want to keep it purely no code, I would say the dashboard teams.
Okay, sounds like I think a decent answer over here. I'm not sure that we're always talking about Legos over here anymore, Francois, to be honest. Sometimes I have the feeling that we want Duplos, but we will also techniques and what's after the techniques. So that will be for another one. I have one good question over here. How does integration process look like? I think that is really important as well for clients and prospect that the audience, because everybody see that you can do magic with AI today. You just throw a spreadsheet and you see graphics coming up. But when you do it from an application perspective and everything, I think integration process seems for me much more than just drag and dropping a CSV in a lovely chat message with GPT. Who is ready to pick that one for me?
I can start, and maybe others can.
Let's go,
can
Francois.
Yeah, no worries. So, I mean, again, as you understand with Yannick, it can be very simple, or you can also go very wide with the integration. But the integration process can be very simple. I mean, the first step is obviously to connect your data source. So we are supporting a lot of different data sources, not obviously not just flat files, but a lot of data source like Snowflake, BigQuery, or Postgres, a lot of them. We have a lot of connectors. So you are connecting your data source. Then you build a dashboard from your data source. So you can use our Luzmo Studio build for that. You can build also a great visualization using Flex based on your data source. And then you embed your dashboard in your own app. So you have built your dashboard, you designed your dashboard, and then you embed your dashboard. Embedding the dashboard is straightforward. You just put the dashboard in your app, and it will show up. You can embed the entire dashboard. You can embed only one chart or multiple charts. You can combine. You can use Flex to build something beyond dashboard. So it's again, there is a very simple way to do it. If you want to start, and if you want to go to the expert mode, you can also with all the Flex and capabilities we have provided.
So I'm trying to reframe it for my own very simple brain, I will say it that way. You telling me that the integration and connectors that we have is already a first step where we can really help go fast, correct?
Yes, of course.
The connectors vault. And then there is a side question to that. Most of the time here that the prospect, the client shouldn't be thinking that much about the technical aspect of things, but rather about what they want to build and do what you call, guys, reverse engineer. Can you give me a bit an idea about what do we try to think with that reverse engineer mode? And it's to all of you, guys, because I see Yannick doing like this, so he feels that he's like, yes, I want to answer that one. So if you feel that you are in the mood of it, go ahead. Francois, not cutting on you as well. Just want an answer about it because I think there is a process of thinking that might be interesting for the audience.
Yeah, I wanted to say that for me, there's three main steps. It's one, connecting data. Two, creating your charts or dashboards in the dashboard editor. And then three, embedding those charts or dashboards in your own application. Three simple steps. And I think if you have a good data set available already, the real strength of Luzmo is that you can have something in production embedded in 1 hour if you want. You just connect your data sets, you create a few charts with it in the editor, and you just take a few lines of code to embed that in your own application. You can get all of that done in 1 hour. And that's really very powerful. If, again, you want to go very wild and have very custom things, then 1 hour will likely not be enough. But for a minimal first version, you can get there really, really fast.
How good was that answer, boss? The boss is Jasper over here. Right? It's not me, and don't look at me. If I say boss, I'm not talking for myself.
It's all perfectly valid. I'm thinking like, what would I add if you would have asked me the question first? And it's maybe then only what the problems that we solve in each of those steps. So with connecting data, eventually if you have a dashboard and for multiple customers, you have to deal with access. Different users of you have different access, things like multi-tenancy. You want data localized, and all of that translates into different queries you need to do in your database. We handle all of that. So you connect your data, and whatever you do after that, we make sure that the right people have access to the right data in the right time zone, the right locale, all of that. Then building. The problem we solve there, especially with our studio, is you don't need to be a data analyst. or someone who has done all kinds of courses in something that's super detailed and complex, like Tableau. This is a studio that if you have okay knowledge of your data set, anyone can just start and build charts and build a dashboard. It's you click around and from that point it's pretty self-explanatory. And then the embedding part, that's where it gets interesting, where you can indeed add your own theme, your own styling, and really quickly not just only have charts in your own software, but also have it look like it's built by you, and it doesn't look like a third party that's integrated, but something that's your native UI that lives and breathes your own style and UI vision. And that's something that we focus on. It's not just about getting data visualized, but it's about making it suitable for embedded.
Okay, guys, because I know that you cannot look and answer and everything, and I'm not really good at it. I try my best, but look at this.
That's great to see.
So, Sergey,
Great to hear.
we can all die today because we just feel extremely good with that message. We don't want to die, and don't get me wrong, I might be the only one, but I know that you made just a good weekend for all of us just with that one. So a big thank you for that one. And now I'm coming with an extra one, which is basically, I think, a fair question from Jim about basically your AI power summary and how can he basically start testing it, deploying it, and where are basically the predictive analytics sharding of the stuff to read. That's for you, Jasper.
Let me answer that one. I'm really eager to answer that one. So for anyone who's now quickly logging into Luzmo, to your Luzmo account, if you have one already, and checking this, you probably won't see it yet, but you can today ask your customer success manager, or otherwise reach out to support to ask about this, because we're slowly opening now for external tests. But this is something that we've been internally testing. AI summary is just right there in your dashboard that you can add as a widget in Luzmo Studio. So if you want to test this with your own dashboards, send your customer success manager or the support team a message, and they can give you a sneak peek in that and enable that. Then the next step is predictive analytics, and that's something we're having a lot of discussions about, but we're not there yet. We did some tests in the past with this. It's a difficult thing to do well. It's an easy thing to build technically as a feature and then to give you access to. It's a very difficult thing to do well because it depends on a lot of business context about your product and your data. So that's definitely something we see that line with AI summaries and all the cool AI features we're currently building and slowly deploying. That predictive analytics in combination with that would be super powerful, but it's something that we'll slowly have to add on top, and not something you can expect next to the AI summary that we'll release soon.
You love it. I knew that you were good on this one. Wait, I need to hide this. Too much questions in the chat at the same time. So I hide this one and I drop this one. And I know that one, I know already who wanna basically answer it. Though, any plans to enhance formula aggregation that can be based on another formula or aggregation? And I think there are two pieces that make that question very juicy. Go ahead, Francois. We feel it. It's for you.
No, that's a very good question, and thanks for asking. So maybe for those who don't know what is a formula, so
exactly
first time, because formula aggregation, it's the analytical part where you can do calculation in Luzmo. So you can do some calculation, for instance, a sum of orders divided by the number of customers. Let's say that you want to get an average. And it's a calculation you can do now with aggregation formula. That's, I would say, a simple one. You are doing a sum and you are dividing it by another sum, for instance. So that works quite well. The step the question is talking about is to use an aggregation to do another aggregation. So you are already thinking about, I would say, levels of aggregation. And it's very useful because you can do more complex calculation, and it's something we are thinking about. So we have some plans any plans to enhance the formula aggregations? Yes, we do. We have plans to do it. It's something we are going to work on very soon. So we are end of the year. I will not start with our 2026 roadmap because that's not the place to talk about it.
Hola, slow down, mate.
yeah. But I mean, that's also the plan for us to. When we are talking about plans, yes, we have planned to work on it. So yes, we'll tackle it next year and as early as possible.
François, what could be like the classic example of that kind of use case where you want an aggregation with an aggregation? There's something that comes to your mind that make it very tangible as an example in some kind of business? I see that Sophie is there, by the way, from Citron, which you know.
Yeah.
Richard is very happy about your answers, by the way. But I'm just looking at an example. The explanation was great. I kind of understand it. But what would be a good example out of a business case, for example, to address that?
So that's a good question. So let's say that you want to get the average revenue per user. So you have a business and you want to get an average revenue per user. It's not straightforward to do. So it's not because it requires to have some calculation first and then to do another calculation. So first, you need to calculate what is the revenue per user, for instance, per month. So how you are calculating first the revenue per user? You are doing a sum of the revenue.
The rows, yes.
And you are dividing that by the count of active users. So you will get the active months, sorry. So you will get the revenue, average revenue per account.
1, 2, yeah.
And now you want to basically average is average. Because
the average, okay.
You need to average, not just the revenue per, but you want the average of that.
Of user pool, yes.
So here it's adding a level of aggregation on top of your first aggregation. So you have your first aggregation, the calculation I just described, and on top of that, you need to do another average. So to calculate the average revenue per user, you need to do an average of the aggregation. And this is what we are talking about, having multiple levels where you can go with intermediate calculation, so intermediate aggregation, and then go by grouping to build what exactly you want. So he was.
It's funny because I see already the graphics, with the average, and then how people basically overperform or underperform on it. I think that's really the idea that from your explanation, what I'm seeing from more like marketing business kind of brain over here. But thank you very much, mate. Very insightful. I kind of like that. Other question. Here we go. That's the sales guy talking over here. What should I tell on my website that people understand that they can make money by embedding us in their application? I will reframe the question and I'll read it well. Can you use Luzmo to make analytics a revenue driver?
Yeah, of course.
If you cannot answer that one, Jasper, you need to.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to jump in indeed. Yes, of course you can, and that's what we hope you're doing. And if you're not, then I think you'll have opportunities to make use of this. Because Luzmo has a lot of facets, so you can think of a lot of ways to make this a revenue driver. Like the most simple way we see sometimes is that analytics are offered as a package or an upsell, but I think even more powerful than that is a situation where your users are used to work with analytics, get some data and get insights in what they're doing with your product and what's happening under the hood to look at the data, but then sell levels of access into Luzmo. So things like the ability to get access to more dashboards or more elaborate dashboards, or a step further, the ability to edit these dashboards and create your own customizations. And a bit more technical, if you will look at our academy, you see that there are a lot of feature flags that you can work with. So maybe you want to give some users in a higher plan more options to edit things, or more options to set alerts, schedule exports to themselves, share things with other people in their team. And you have a lot of levers to just enable and disable features that doesn't cost you much in terms of implementation and development, and that can help you to create really useful packages per license or per upsell package that you can use to gradually move people into making more use of Luzmo. But my suggestion, what I always see be most successful, Jonathan, is not taking like it's all or nothing stance, but definitely give people a taste of the data and the power of having insight in the data that comes out of your product. And then when people think, hey, this is useful, they automatically get more questions. Hey, I see these 5 metrics now, but I'm also wondering about X, or for my situation, I would want a different visualization, or I want different data on this dashboard, or want to work with my colleagues and share data and set up another dashboard. That's the point where it's really relevant to gain some options and offer that.
And I can tell it from my own, because I'm 11 months now in the company. It's becoming addictive, but you need to taste it to make it addictive. You see what I mean? And I think that is really what I heard from you, Jesper. It's because you will put that first step, and then people want the second, the third. And it's like with every good game or any good experience, once you taste something that you like, you just want more out of it. And I think it's pretty true. Because the chat for me is even as important as what we collected. And we all know we have Sophie that was bouncing back to the previous question. So giving access to analytics to our user with no owner in Luzmo. And I think, is it correct that Jim answered the question? And that's lovely when the community and the chat answer the question of it. But I just want to make sure that we don't make any wrong assumptions over here. Is it correct or not? So maybe re-showing the question.
Yeah,
so giving access
is more about the usage analytics feature in Luzmo itself. So not about embedded Luzmo, but in Luzmo, getting insights about who views your dashboards, etc. That's indeed currently limited to be only visible for owner accounts. We can definitely check if we can expand access there, but we need to check privacy and access concerns. But
Sophie's confirming what you're saying. So just that people all understand it, it's basically more the access in the Luzmo app and not towards where we embed it in the app. Correct to reframe it that way? Seems okay. Nobody is saying that I say nonsense, so I think we're good.
No, indeed. But we can investigate to broaden access there to also editors, for example, so that more people have insight in the usage analytics of the dashboards.
Yes, and that you were right, and seems that my kind of reframing was not too bad. You know that my background is more in the CRM, so we were playing with millions of consumers, users, blah, 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 blah. I just saw that my previous company sent just on the day of Black Friday, 550 million emails. So this question is the kind that I like. How does Luzmo handle large or fast changing data sets? And there is a double question, because I know that how bigger you become or slower you most of the time become. I'm not making bad jokes because I see Jesper laughing out. I didn't add any second talk in here, so I'm just talking and taking the question out of here. So it's about handling large data set and fast changing sets. Who picks that one up? François.
I think it's perfect for François.
Please, come on, guys.
No, so when you have, like you were in your example, Jonathan, when you have very large data sets, so there are a few obviously good practices you need ideally to follow, but Luzmo, we are trying to do as much as possible to ensure that we are helping you to use this data set as fast as possible. So we have some caching, obviously, techniques where we are using to help. We are also obviously advising to do some pre-aggregation. Ideally, the aggregation, you are trying to do that before hitting your in the dashboard. And what we are doing is that usually we are also hitting the database. So your data source, when there are large requests or when the queries are quite heavy, it's better to go directly to the data source. We have also internal system, so to help here. So when you have very large data sets and you want them to go super fast, we can also use WARP, helping you to
You use a buzzword. Nobody knows what warp is, man. Sorry.
Nobody knows what Jonathan.
No, not nobody. Not nobody.
So
Not enough. Not enough. Not enough.
Warp is our acceleration layer. So you have a data set, a very large data set, you want it to be super fast, you can use Warp. Warp will accelerate your data set when your dashboard will load. So when your user will load the dashboard, we use our acceleration layer to speed up everything. So Warp is a kind of a very optimized way to fasten your dashboards with very large data sets. And you can have a lot of different techniques here to sync your data sets. So that's a pretty cool feature we have released and we are improving also very often.
100% agree. Next one.
Oh no,
Guys,
definitely not.
Really watch out at what you're saying here, because I will make a transcript of this and I will make sure that any kind of LLM or nerds understand the answer that you will provide here. All right?
Yeah, but I think if you're scared that I'm going into all kinds of industry specific terminology, no. BI, then I'm thinking in internal analytics. So data analysts, business analysts building complex dashboards for internal use that don't look good but have all kinds of complex things in it. We're not that. Like if you need something to do the most complex type of 10-line formula, unfortunately that's not us. But if you need something where you can quickly, and anyone like product manager, marketer, not just data analyst, can build a dashboard and get the data in there that you want to get visualized, that's Luzmo. So we focus much more on how can we help you to quickly present good-looking analytics to your users that also understand that. And we're not trying to get in the corner with and trying to be the most complex visualization layer possible.
Guys, now I'm challenging the guys that work for Jasper. How good was his answer? I want the score, Larry. Yannick, out of 0 of 10, how do we score Jasper on that answer?
8.5, 9.
I was going to give the same. François, do you give him more or less? Watch out, the rising page just for February, so don't worry, you can knock him down.
It was really good answer.
Okay,
then I need to know, Yannick, what gets the 10. So what's the 1.5 of that 8.5 that I missed?
Nothing is perfect, Jasper. No, but I think in general it's just really, really easy to use the tool, and we constantly review that as well and try to make adjustments, not to be the heavy legacy tools, but just make it really easy for you.
And again, to the people, and because people stay with us, if you agree, just say that you agree, because then you're giving us signals, and then we can maybe stop some kind of not funny conversation that we can have over here. I will say that way. But if it's not good, then we know that we need to go deep in that as well. So feel free to share that as well. There is one question which is maybe not directly linked to you guys, although I think it could, but I really like that idea of what can we from marketing and a company perspective do to help on this. So we want to use analytics to improve user engagement. Can you suggest any best practice? I know that that is most of the time what our CS will be helping with, which is part also of the value proposition of Luzmo. It's not like just tech, it's tech with expertise and human people helping. But if you had to drop a couple of elements here, very tangible, that people can maybe play with before the winter break, what would it be?
I can take one angle there. I think one of the interesting things about Luzmo is the self-serve aspect, where basically you expose the data set to your end users and you allow them to dig into that and build their own charts or dashboards on that. So sometimes the dashboard you build and embed for them is not enough. They have questions that are not answered by the numbers in the dashboard, and they want to go the next step and basically get the answers to their question, build their own charts, prompt it maybe. Next year will be a bit of sneak peek, but we'll be doing important improvements there to make it really easy that any user can do self-serve analytics. Yeah, small preview for you. But that's where you really get the user engagement and keep them coming back. if they can.
You're underselling it. You're underselling it by calling it an improvement. But indeed, and it comes back to the monetization, Jonathan. It's indeed we always we see that when you start with a dashboard, your users will say, "Hey, this is cool, and can I also see X or can I also see Y?" And that X and Y that differs per user, per customer. So that's the point where it's really helpful if you can offer them some control to customize things themselves. And we have big plans there.
Honestly, I think that it was a great question, and I'm really thinking about potentially a blog series that we can think about that. If again the community agree that would be useful content from us to them, just like let us know in the chat or to your CS. Sorry, I need to come back to your previous question, trying really to handle everything at the same time. But I think this one is they say it, and Joseph, you should never say sorry for asking a question, first of all. So just ask them, it's very fair. But I think here, does Warp Delta Sync have to use push down? And I will be honest, I just understand the word, but I have no clue what push down means. I think it's more one for you, Francois, this time again, you know?
No. So Warp Delta Sync is not specific to, so Warp Delta Sync or Warp Full Sync is using the same, and it's not fully required to, you don't have to use push down. So maybe we need to check and why you
maybe that can help you, because that's the second part of the question.
Yeah, that's something we need to investigate. So maybe we can take that separately with Joseph.
Okay, sure.
To check what's going on, but we'll find probably a solution here.
Okay, so basically we got your back, but we need to investigate more in depth about that specific way, correct? Wait,
yes,
I know that this is also something that's some of you kind of always want to jump in, and I already feel the Jasper, like that's one for me, or their new visualization time or layout improvement on the way. And I think that is because Yannick or Superstar is teasing the roadmap, so you can also tease stuff, huh? So go for it, Jasper.
But I'll give you an answer. It would be easy to throw this ball to Yannick again, because that will be part of his work next year. But yeah, so an example for it is of course the AI summary, which is also it's not visual, but belongs in the set of visualizations that we offer, even though it's text. But we're planning more there. We see that there are some visualizations that a lot of our customers use that are overdue for an update, and where we have enough feedback collected to also know how we can make them better and some features there. So I'm not going to share more details, but yes, we have some plans here. And it doesn't stop with just the visualizations. It also comes down to the studio itself and like self-serve options that Yannick mentioned. We already have options there. We have our embedded editor, for example, but also there we have some plans to make visual changes, functional changes, and also make that more customizable again. So that if you want to show something like that to your users, that you have more options to decide how you want to show it.
I love it. I'm looking if I can still drop. If you still have questions in the audience, feel free, and I can like push them on the screen. I'm still looking in my list because I always want to show them up front as well. Oh, I kind of like this one, which boils down a little bit with those best practices and things. But we want to use analytics to improve user engagement. Goes a little bit back, in my opinion, Jasper, to monetization. I think we need to make a link there. Can you suggest any best practices around that?
Yeah, I think what where we really see that engagement increases is if you get your users to the point where they set alerts or scheduled exports. For example, you can give your users an option to send a dashboard to them, for example, weekly or monthly, whatever they prefer, as PDF. To give an example. Other things are if you're going to get to self-serve again, like if a user spends some time setting up their own variant of a dashboard, we see that they come back more often because it's more tailored. It also feels more like, hey, this is something I created, I spent some time on it, so I'm going to use it. So making a user active in there, that makes something really sticky and engaging. And before you're at that point, yeah, it's just really important to figure out what data you need to show to have your users come back. And also there, something like Luzmo Studio is really valuable, because with a studio where you can build and change dashboards yourself, you can iterate quickly. So you can build a dashboard, figure out how popular it is, what type of data is used, and then based on user feedback, make updates, add a chart, remove a chart, maybe change a visualization if it's not understood well. So quickly iterating a default dashboard you start with to make sure it slowly gets even better tailored to the feedback of your customers. That definitely also helps.
Yeah, it goes pretty well in line with what Yannick said. Bring them a first experience and then build step by step towards where you want to go. What I would like that people keep in mind, and I've been challenged quite a lot in the last weeks about that, it's you really need to think what you want to deliver as that extreme experience and then work backwards to it. So you have basically your own roadmap or rollout plan, which is then pretty easy to align with, in my opinion.
Yeah, to double down on that, Jonathan, it's really with Luzmo you don't need a big bang release, so you don't need to spend months developing something. The best practice is really to get something to your customers quick, and then based on feedback you extend it and you iterate. And I think that is part of the power of Luzmo, that you can have really quick iterations, and you don't need a lot of engineering resources or engineering resources at all in some cases to have those quick iterations and respond quick to customer feedback.
I really like that. I already put the happy holiday just because I like it, and I think it's important that we show that we like our users as well. If there is any question, I will give you like 15 seconds more, because I will be honest, Connie is really strict on the fact that we said 30 minutes. So she doesn't like when I'm abusing the time of our audience. I'm just kidding, of course. I think there was value over here. So at least I hope so. If it's not the case, roast me. It's fair as well. But that is something where we definitely want your input. You can like read it. Next time I will put a QR code to that. But feedback is really a gift, and we don't say it enough and enough and enough. Reviews, and thank you for all those that filled in the reviews on Capterra G2 in the last month. That is really helpful for us. But that is how we want to work. We want to work around the community, the users, the client, the prospect. So if you want to be like heard, you need to fill those things in. Otherwise, those other guys over here with me, they need to invent, and they don't want to invent. They want to basically help you get your business on steroids. So please take a little time to fill in that. And I can swear that Connie is really good at making sure that when we commit on something, that we also deliver it. So that was like a little side message over here. I don't see more questions coming, guys. I think we did a pretty decent job over here. I was really happy I could use finally my buzzer, because I didn't mention that I had it with me. I see the little smile on Yannick's face, so that made my Friday as well. The happy holidays is there. So yes, that's something I think we also want, the four of us. Wish you all the best with the winter season. Hope that you will have amazing family time, that you can have time to recharge or charge the battery for the 2026 adventure coming. And we also want to say huge thank you for all the feedback that we get from you, for being present in those webinars. Again, feel free to drop us the good, the bad, the ugly. We're always looking to improve ourselves as well. I'm more than happy to be nearly a year with all of you guys, learning still a lot. Probably why I put a cape, it's because I'm losing my hair, but I don't want to show it yet. Maybe in a year that I will be totally bald, could be. But then I will make sure that I find some swags for all those people. I know that I own one for Jasper for months, and he's so right about it. But I feel like a bit exclusive by being the only one that got a cape, but I will fix that, promise, guys. I want to also say a huge thank you to Connie for always organizing, making those things happen, that we can just have that sharing moment with you. And guys, sorry for bringing you in the AMA, but I will say I'm not sorry for having doing it, because I really enjoyed this moment. I hope you a little bit at least, and we will definitely come with more of those in 2026, so be ready. And yeah, that's it. The final word is on you guys. I'm done.
We enjoyed it as well, I think. Thanks for the great questions.
Volgens Jonathan, thanks for hosting. Always a pleasure to do this with you.
Lovely. Thank you, guys.
It was super fun.
If you like it, I like it. Thank you to the community. Thank you, clients, prospect, for trusting us. See you, Joseph. See you, Connie. Also, like, big hello from here. Sophie, I will say, Richard. Really, always happy to see like some faces getting back and back. And if you want to take the stage with the guys over here, you should also say it to us. I would be more than happy to organize that. Other than that, happy holidays. Enjoy the family times, and we see each other in January. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.